Just when we thought this episode was going to be, Latoya sent a fan favorite home. But why? Let's talk about it next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I want to see the dance, ladies. These ladies asked for the song.
I need to say. And I need ya. And I'm down for you always.
Well, welcome to another episode of The Proposal on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we're not talking about Kiki, we're talking about Latoya, who I think we all can maybe attest that she made a surprise decision. I don't want to say it was a good or a bad decision. I think it was very controversial. According to the folks on Twitter that I was looking at, a lot of people shocked. I would say I was shocked not by the final two, but maybe by the ones after that. We're certainly going to talk about that. Again, thanks for joining us. The Proposal on AfterBuzz TV. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Clouse.
And I am Farah Besharat.
What is up, Proposal Watchers? I'm Lauren Beck.
Hey everyone, I'm Lauren Pacheco.
Again, thanks for joining us. We have the live chat open, so if we ask a question, guys, we want to be able to hear from you, not just us on the panel. We want to be able to incorporate you guys. We have a lot of people I know already watching and already commenting, which is fantastic. You're also maybe listening to this on Apple Podcasts, and if you are, we are live every single Monday night. We'd love to be able to have you join us, be able to talk and break down the episode. There's always some controversy. Mm-hmm. Again, I thought this was going to be an episode where it was like, oh, smooth sailing, nothing's happening. Oh, she's going to just pick Michael. It's going to be great. And then she sent Michael home. Why? Why did this happen, girls?
I don't know.
You know, I just think that maybe the physical attraction wasn't there. If you look at the two finalists, they definitely had a different look than Michael. So I think that that's what that was. You know, and you have your type. So if that wasn't her type, then, you know, he'll be great for someone else. I'm sure he'll be great for someone else.
The fact that she picked Garland over Michael is just... If you were going to pick Garland, which she picked Tyler, don't put him in the final two.
I mean, he was shocked. Like, we were all shocked. He was even shocked that he got that far. So,
yeah, did you see his face?
Yes.
When he was picked, he was like,
I can't believe it.
Wait, what?
Me?
Did you not hear what I said about my baby mama? Twice? Like,
not once, but twice.
Yeah, he definitely could have been more forthcoming about his baby mama's relationship. And of course, you don't have to come and air all your dirty laundry on national television, but say that like you're a work in progress and you're getting there. My son's still young, we're working on it. But don't just make it seem like everything's rainbows and butterflies when it's clearly not.
Do you think she could see through that?
The world could see through that. Yes, his reaction was so, it said everything without him saying anything.
Her mother definitely saw through that.
Yeah.
Right? Because she
discussed with her mother after that.
Well, and you could see her reactions in the pod, too, remember, Lauren?
Yes.
She was, like, shaking her head, like, okay, are you going to answer the question, or are you just going to kind of, like, sugarcoat it and make it look nice for us so we think that you guys have a good relationship?
He was incredibly disingenuous from the beginning.
Totally.
Smooth talker.
Also, wasn't he the one who was a model? He's a model on the side.
Yes.
Was he the entrepreneur?
No, that was Sean Don.
That was Sean Don. Well, man, he's just one of the many things that we're talking about tonight. Going to be talking over Latoya and maybe why she is ready for another relationship, if she is. Certainly talking about Michael being sent home. I feel like race was a big thing that we're talking about. But this is just one of the many shows that we're here on AfterBuzz TV, right? Where can people find some other shows?
Yes, absolutely. So, is this what I'm reading? Is this what I'm reading?
Yes.
Can I try this again?
Let's do this. Hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of Talk TV.
And we really do appreciate it. We got a number of people in the chat. This is fantastic. Let's talk about Latoya starting now. So we know that she's 33, has been in a relationship before. He unfortunately passed away. And I think throughout the episode, we're wondering why she was in it or if she was fully in it. Do you guys feel as the episode progressed that she was ready to commit to another relationship?
I definitely felt like she wants to be able to commit to another relationship. I mean, of course there's going to be a lot of emotion behind losing someone that you love. I just don't know how far along in that journey she is. And, you know, it's hard to say, like, is someone really ready? And it would have been nice to see the guys be able to ask her some questions, you know, about where she is with her relationshipness.
It was a little too vague for me because they didn't say whether or not they were married. She just said she loved a man who passed away, and she didn't say how long after it had been.
Oh, they weren't married? I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they didn't specify.
Didn't say it. So it was interesting to me because we didn't really know very much.
It would have been nice if the guys could ask her some questions
Right.
to delve
Yeah.
deeper into that past.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first time where I was like, man, if I was a guy, I would have so many questions. You know, because we think of this so much in looking at the way that they formatted of, oh, it's a one-sided thing if she's picking someone. But again, any marriage is two people coming together and making that decision. And it's important for the guys to be able to have everything out there as well.
Well, yeah, and if we're talking in terms of fairness, we're getting to know everything about them or what they're willing to show. So it would be nice for her to give them something to kind of go on to, you know, connect with.
Totally.
Early look, do you guys see them making it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They both seem so sweet and kind.
She's already gone to Cape Cod and met the fam. Come on. What do you mean?
Who's going
Of
to turn down a
course.
free trip to Cape Cod, though?
I mean, no one, but still, I have high hopes for them.
I have other opinions as to why she picked Tyler.
What?
Share it.
Ooh.
Because one was a straight up proposal, and the other one she didn't have to commit. Tyler was just like, "I'll take you to Cape
Yeah.
Cod."
And if
I
she's
think she
not
got
ready-
nervous and said, "All right, I'm not ready to be proposed to at this moment in my life. I'm going to go with Tyler so that I just go on a trip."
Well, it's interesting that he's from Boston and she's from Dallas. And that's one thing I actually looked at when it was down to like the final 2 or 3, because that's made a huge impact in previous episodes where like a couple from New Orleans picked each other. And you're picking someone who it's a lot easier. And what was last week? Someone in their backyard, right? Oh, I didn't know I'd
Oh,
find it.
yeah, New Orleans, backyard. Yeah.
And so, like, I think that's a big thing, but they're obviously dealing with that. No one really was from Dallas, or there was one other person, I think, from Texas. If I'm trying to find it, I can't
But I
find
don't
it.
think she picked him because it was an easy out. I feel like there was no way she could have picked Garland and felt right about that decision.
She already picked Garland for the bottom 2.
True, so it was like the better of two.
Well, starting...
Also, well, we'll get to Garland's
there.
proposal, but
Yes.
Tammy in the
It
chat
was
says,
bad.
I think she could see through Garland. A couple other people, various discussions going on in the chat, which is fantastic. We're going to be commenting on you guys' things. Right off the top, so we get to the 10. Was there a favorite off the top? I mean, was anybody else's just Sean Don right away?
Jackie Tran.
Jackie Tran.
We love us some Jackie Chan. And he like Jackie Chan.
Jackie Tran.
And he did like some dance moves and stuff. He seemed like a really goofy guy. I wish he had more time to show more of his personality.
I was surprised he made it onto the next round.
I was too. I couldn't believe
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe she was looking for something different. But, you know, in talking about Sean Don, that might have been a little too different for her.
I was surprised that Sean Fury didn't make it. He was a guy, the 26-year-old from New Jersey, who's a security officer, seemed like a really stand-up guy.
yeah, he
He almost
was
seemed like a
nice.
copy of Michael. Like they
Right,
seemed like
yes.
very
similar.
stand-up guys. So I guess you're picking one.
I liked Michael. He seemed very sweet, and he had the greatest answers.
He just seemed like such
the
a
best.
gentleman. And, you know, I hope he does find love because he really seemed like he was ready.
Who are you
in that
talking about
place.
here?
Michael.
Oh.
Yes. He just, you know, and his
Yes.
answers, even though they were great answers, they didn't feel rehearsed.
Yeah.
No.
No. That wall answer?
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I mean,
was so
ladies,
good.
you're hearing that, and a guy says that to you. What are you thinking?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we all
I
fell.
mean,
I fell
yeah.
out of my chair.
The fact that she didn't pick him after that, and then Garland gave the worst answer in the world, and she picked Garland, I don't know about her.
Yeah. It makes you question her character
Yeah.
and her choices.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out in the live chat. I want to get people's thoughts on Michael. So if you're watching this live, were you surprised by Michael getting an early exit? I mean, I guess early mid-exit, but it was earlier, I think, what a lot of us expected.
I think Michael might be dating the mom right now.
Oh, Lerna. Hello.
How old was Michael? I mean, he wasn't. He was 28.
He was 28.
Like, man, he likes fine wine. He manages a business in Chicago.
He likes fine wine.
Can we
Learn
talk
up.
about-
So nice.
Can we talk about Kenneth, though?
Let's talk about Kenneth.
He was my early on favorite until that question where she asked him if he had ever dated another race.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he paused.
Yeah.
Yeah, so round 3, serious questions. There's a lot to dive into with the serious question round. So we're talking about Kenneth. Have you ever dated a woman outside of your race? He says, yes, but it's been a while. But, ladies, he does mentor kids in
the
inner city Chicago. Quote, I don't have a problem with it.
Honestly,
I don't want to hear that.
Kenneth,
terrible
that was
answer.
a horrible answer.
Horrible answer.
He could have come out and said, listen, I fall in love with who I fall in love with. If we have kids, whatever we choose to do, that's the person I love, regardless of her race, whatever she does for a living, whatever. But his answer, it seemed like he wasn't trying to step on anybody's toes. And then I also felt like he thought it was going to give him like a card in by saying that he worked with inner city kids.
Right.
And I don't think he realizes how that comes off.
So how does that come off? I want to
Okay,
ask. How
as
does
a
that
black
come off?
woman,
Yeah, absolutely.
It just comes off as a front. Like he's trying, and also him saying inner city kids, like I think he thought that would hit a nerve with her. Yes, she's black. That doesn't necessarily mean she's from the inner city. That doesn't mean that she's had inner city experiences. Yes, that's amazing that he's doing that, but I felt like he could have brought that information to the table at a different time. That wasn't the right time to do that at all.
So, how is the appropriate way? I know appropriate. What would be a way that would win you over?
You know, for me specifically, I've always dated outside of my race, and I think that it's just being open and not putting yourself in a box. And I felt like he did that. Like he was like, you know, I've dated girls in that have had different races, but it's been a really long time, and I just feel like that's like it's a cop out. It's like why are you giving that information? Why do you feel that it's necessary?
Well, he wasn't the best with his words because in the round before that, he was kind of introducing himself, I think, in the swimsuit round. He said, this is the last thing. Like, this is my last chance. So I was wondering what he was going to do after this show if he wasn't picked. He was
So-
like, well, this is it for me.
And fair, to that point, maybe he's not good with his words. Clearly, he's
Right,
not good with
not
his
at
words. But I just think, you know, he needs to be a little more educated in that area and of what to say if you're going to be on national
And then
television.
when he said, I don't have a problem with dating outside of my race. So that's not enthusiastic enough.
Well-
I don't want to hear a man that I'm going to get engaged to say, well, I don't have a problem with marrying you.
And
How's that supposed to make me feel?
it's a negative connotation, a problem. Like,
He
why
just
are
should've
you
said-
saying
Why
that?
would it be a
Why
problem?
a problem?
Yes. Why?
Like, you know, that doesn't make sense at all to me.
He just should have said it's not even a thing.
It's
right.
not even an
It's not
issue.
a factor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a factor. That would have been the answer you should have
It
given.
doesn't matter to me.
He knew, though, after he gave that answer,
Yeah,
that
that
he
it
was
was
done.
wrong,
That
yeah.
was it.
Yeah, he did seem at the start, I think if I'm thinking of the right person, that he seemed almost a little cocky at the beginning.
Yes.
And, you know, he's a real estate agent, lots of exploring and hiking. It's interesting, and someone brought this up in the live chat. I want to shout her out. Rebecca Faye says, I did notice all of the guys were younger than her. I wonder if she specified this when the panel chose the guys. And Kenneth actually was the oldest at age 35.
yeah.
But Tyler's 26. Michael was 28. And Garland was 26, which she's 33. That's a 7-year difference, 5-year difference. Do you guys think that she really played a role and that she was, you know, aiming for a younger guy?
I think so.
Very well could have
Sounds
been.
like it.
Yeah.
I mean, because it seems as though in the show that there have been kind of types or ages. So I think that she was able to say whether she wanted younger or older.
Yeah.
It's
younger.
interesting that Latoya would pick somebody that's younger, being a very career-driven woman. You know, she seems to have it all
Yeah.
together. So it's interesting that she would pick someone that's younger that may not necessarily be where she is.
Do you think that she might have wanted someone who is not where she is so that she's clearly defined as the dominant person in
this
the
is-
relationship?
That's another thing I was looking into because she is clearly a sophisticated attorney, right? She has this great career. And then if you looked at the selection of men, none of them had careers that were very established.
Nope.
Security officer, rapper,
Fashion designer,
fashion
models. Yeah.
entrepreneur, whatever that means.
I mean, or maybe she just said, it doesn't matter to me if they're established in their career or not.
Because she has enough money.
But it was a question. I mean, that was one of the serious questions, right? Was a practicing attorney, have you ever dated a woman with a white collar job? Again, this was to Michael, who I thought answered it phenomenally.
He did. I mean, he said his mother works for the Chicago mayor and that he would always support women to do whatever they want to do. Like, well, I don't know what else she's looking for. Tyler.
Tyler,
Looking for Tyler who hates face tattoos.
Because you run across a lot of people with face tattoos often.
Yes.
Mike Tyson.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, you may run across him. You never know.
Tons of rappers, which I'm surprised that Sean Don did not have a face tattoo. As an entrepreneur and a rapper, I would have expected him to have one.
You know, what I want to say about Sean Don is he had the chance, dude. If you weren't going to find love, this was your moment to just show your talent. And coming out and saying you have a little itty bitty waist from Alabama isn't going to get, it's not going to get you there.
Yes, girl, we have to break down that rap.
Right.
Because talking about a little bitty waist from Alabama, rolling in the Benz.
Rolling in the bins.
I mean, could this guy even afford a lease on a Benz, do we think?
You know, I mean, with the backwards hat and the red
It
Air
wasn't
Force
even a
Ones.
love rap. At least let it be meaningful.
And that's the thing, like, I wonder when he was writing it, was he like, okay, is this going to appeal to her? Like, talking about partying and getting, little mama. No, sir. I'm sorry.
Is this the way you're gonna get a sophisticated attorney? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Any woman for that matter. Like, are you joking?
Someone brought up, Tammy brought up in the chat, I think someone else did as well, that she's Rachel Lindsay's clone.
That's what I was thinking too. She does look a lot like
Rachel Lindsay, if you're not familiar, was one of the Bachelorettes.
Yes.
Also an attorney from Texas. I didn't.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, thanks, Tammy. Mind
Tammy.
blown.
Our Jeff Graham in the booth is bringing up Rachel Lindsay for those to be able to see.
Oh, wow, yeah.
but
they do
like
look a lot
very
alike.
much a clone.
Latoya was beautiful.
She was stunning.
Gorgeous.
I mean, wow.
Stunning.
Someone just said Sean Don and Jackie Tran together. Oh, come on.
I love it. I'm here for that.
I'm not saying I couldn't see it though. But I don't know. So let's break it down going to the final proposals. I want to be able to look at what each person brought to the table. We talked about that Tyler did not actually make a proposal. He said to go to Cape Cod. Pro or con of not making a proposal on this show?
I
You
respect
might
it.
get picked.
You might get picked if you don't make a proposal?
Yes, because I think people freak out that the fact that they're getting proposed to in an hour. And so they say, yeah, okay, wait, I'm going to pick not the guy who's proposing.
They know what show they're coming on. They
yeah,
know that they
but
can,
she was
and-
standing there. I think she was kind of like, these are my final two.
But I will say this, though. Tyler said, I want you to meet my family, and I want to ask for your family's blessing.
That was big. And did you see
Oh, do you
the
remember
family?
Fiji?
Her sister
Was
was
like,
like, oh my gosh, he's the one.
This
like,
guy.
if you don't take him, I want it.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that's more admirable than someone that's ready just to take that jump.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it's also a cop-out to not have to propose right then, because Mr. Fiji in episode whatever that was, 2 or 3, he said, I'll take you to Fiji and I'll propose to you there.
Well, yeah, but he just seemed disingenuous the entire
You just
time.
love Tyler.
Tyler, but he's so, how could you not? He smiles with
Such
his
a
whole
sweetheart.
face.
Oh my god.
I don't know why I
those
just
puppy
didn't
dog
feel
eyes.
Tyler like you guys did. I don't know. I did feel like slightly bad for him when he would smile because it made me sad.
Bad for him. Michael, were you team Tyler or?
I
mean, I know you weren't.
I
team
mean, I was
Tyler.
definitely team Michael.
I was
thought
too.
I want to. I don't see them together.
Neither do I.
They just don't see, and I think it's because I don't know Michael's type. Like Michael just, I don't know. He didn't seem like he
Tyler.
was. Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like he was just confident, and I mean everything that he was saying. I think throughout about.
He seemed very nice, but not.
But I
He
feel
seemed
like
very nice.
that confidence or lack thereof could come from his past and
Well,
being
of
overweight
course.
and not having that. So
Yeah.
I think that's where that comes from. But I guess you're right. Like you couldn't see which way or another. Like if he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is my
And
girl."
then, then her like look at the end, look on her face and like looking up like, oh man, I'm gonna make the wrong decision. Either way, I'm gonna make the wrong decision. That's what I kept seeing her saying.
Exactly. So she
they're
picked the
still
one that
together.
didn't propose.
And then she
No.
gave compliments to both.
Yes. And then acted like she wasn't gonna pick Tyler because she was like,
Yes.
Tyler, you're great, but
She
Garland,
was looking
you're-
up to God, asking God for the strength to pick the man that she wants to be with, and
they're
that's
still
Tyler.
together, so-
See, they went to Cape Cod.
Maybe she picked the right guy.
I think she did.
I'll believe it when I see
Do you
a
think
ring.
it? Do you think it's important in a show like this for them to be very straightforward? And I even look at, I think we might have talked about this on past episodes, where does who you pick matter when? Like if you're going through the rounds and like the final round when it was, going from 3 to 2. Do you think if you were in that position that you would be like, I want to be picked first? She better say my name first. If I'm getting named last out of the 2 or the 3, that means, is that a psychoanalyst game?
It does kind of seem like the pattern has been the people who get picked first are what they like the most. Mm-hmm. Is what it seems like.
That's what happened with Tyler. Tyler got picked first.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. If that were me, I'd be like, oh.
And Ken got picked first and then answered the horrible question. I think she liked Ken a lot.
I don't know.
She did, yeah.
Ken was in the top 4.
I know.
Ken was top 4.
Farah saw that from the very beginning, but he was just not on my radar at all. Like, I was like, who's that?
He stood out to me because he was the oldest and closest to her age.
Yeah, very true.
It seemed like they would be a good fit.
He did seem like, I thought he seemed confident, but it's hard. Like, are you overconfident?
Right.
And I judge that when people walk out and are they doing the spins? Are you walking out puffing your chest?
There were a lot of kisses being blown in
yes.
weird ways.
Yes.
Hey.
The full hand. and then there was the spirit finger one. Don't forget it.
I will ask this question. How important is being flashy to stand out versus being overly flashy to stand out in the wrong way?
Well, that's the rapper, I think, was definitely overly flashy, right?
It depends on the person because you can come out and be talented and say I'm a rapper and not be so I think that it just depends. It's a case by case thing. I think initially you have to have some kind of little quirk about you so they can be like, oh, I remember him, he did this.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why Sean Don got into the second round because she was like, oh, I remember him.
What?
And then she didn't.
He ruined it for himself.
I was just hoping
She
for
forgot
round 3.
everyone else's names.
I was
so
so
she said
hoping for a
Sean
serious
Don.
question from Sean Don. Like, let's look at this. How would Sean Don have answered the question? Let's see here. Where's the serious questions? How would he have answered the question of, have you ever dated a woman with a white-collar job, and how do you support her?
Oh, I would have loved to hear that.
He would have been like, hey, little mama. With the Alabama waist.
Let us not forget Sean Don also gave roses to
the pod.
He just
Yes!
sat them on the wall.
Yes.
I wonder if she ever got them.
Probably not. She
Or to
probably
hear-
left them there.
Or to hear Sean Don talk about his sex life.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Can we
little
get Sean
shorty,
Don on this show?
Seriously.
Oh my god, I would love to have him on the show.
Me too.
I feel like he would accept an opportunity.
That would be
Why
awesome.
did he not
too.
take his shirt off, by the way? He was the only one that didn't take
Because
his
he
shirt off.
looked so good in his famous beachwear
Because he
attire.
wasn't even wearing beachwear. It was like rapper wear, I think.
He had-
He was ready to rap. He was not ready to go to the beach.
Again, I think you're separating yourself. He's peacocking. You ladies know what peacocking is?
I've heard of that.
Peacocking is where you dress completely random and different, but you stand out. So guys do that at a bar sometimes. They go peacocking, and they'll dress in something really crazy. It's like, why the heck are you wearing that? And it's like, because it's an easy thing to break the ice, and it's an easy conversation piece, and you stand out. Of all the guys that are out there who are wearing no shirts, he walks out there and he's got the rolled cuffs, he's got the Timberlands on, and you're like, well, he's different.
Michael Clouse, did you peacock in Vegas? When
What,
it was on your Insta story.
what is this?
It was on your Insta story.
Were
I
you
think
caught peacocking?
Might born suggestive swimwear yourself.
It worked,
Oh, I
though.
definitely saw that. I definitely
It definitely worked, though.
But Michael, you did it tastefully. I wouldn't say Sean Don. I don't know. Like, you want to stand out in the right way.
Positive way,
Yes.
right.
And that to me was just, and it's fine. Look, if you're not a take your shirt off kind of guy, totally cool. But what in the world?
I gotta give a shout out to Tammy in the chat who says, quote, this is what she thinks that Sean Don would say, quote, I would love to have a woman with a white collar job so I can pursue my rap career.
Yes.
Well, we want to know, what does an entrepreneur do?
Hey, what doesn't an entrepreneur do?
That is a Sean John answer.
Bala. This guy's like, oh yeah, you're an attorney? Heck yeah! Now we really rolling in the bins. Oh my goodness. Well, I think it's time to get to some special segments. I want to be able, let's start off with social media. And what are people saying on social media about past contestants, past relationships, and maybe
Alrighty,
this
I
one?
have an update on our last week's couple, Buck
Fantastic.
and Nicole. We all had mixed feelings about that.
Yeah.
From the looks of his Instagram, they are still together. He posted an album of them, a full album of them.
An album?
Yes, in Deer Valley with the caption, I made the right choice, no question.
Ew.
Clearly, because
I
everyone
know.
was questioning his.
People in the comments were asking where the ring was, but these pictures could have been before the show aired, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Because I think that was in a video, right? People were asking, or was it
Right.
in these photos were they asking that?
They were asking that in these photos.
Okay.
Then on the proposal Twitter account, they tweeted the same photos with the caption, congratulations, Nicole and Buck, and for all those wondering, they are still together. Although, so no words if they're actually engaged. Both accounts said nothing about actually being engaged. I don't know. I think these pictures might be before the show aired, but they didn't post anything after. And we have yet to see the ring.
Hey, he has a lot of selfies on his wall. Those are priority.
I know.
Those have to be placed at a certain level. Like,
He's a very
she's
interesting
nice,
man.
but selfies.
Yes, I know, Dr. Buck.
And we talked about his live story, right,
Oh
on
my
Instagram, because he goes
word.
live on his Instagram.
It was hard to
It was
watch.
so bad.
Very cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just, he's a very confident guy.
Yes.
He's like, who else saves lives at 3:15 a.m.? Psht.
He was talking to himself a lot.
Like,
He was cussing a lot,
sir.
which the fans didn't like that were watching.
He was swearing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was like, I thought we were all friends here, guys. He was trying way too hard to be cool, but
Yeah.
not in a nice way. He did not seem very nice
No,
from his
he
live
seemed like he was
feed.
just wanting the attention.
And then he couldn't remember her last name.
Wait, what?
On the live
my
feed, they were
God.
asking because everyone was trying to find her Instagram account, and he couldn't find her Instagram
Wow.
account.
Oh yeah, because I remember. Yeah, he said he gave like 2 or 3. Because I looked up the first one, it was like, this person doesn't have any posts. There's no way.
I
he
even know her Instagram.
He couldn't remember her
like,
last name. He couldn't remember her Instagram account. It was weird. But then he said he was texting her. I'm like, she's probably watching this live feed being like, this man that I said yes to marrying doesn't know my last name.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. if she
Do we
really
think that
cares.
they've broken out the box of lingerie yet?
Oh,
Ooh,
yes.
Good question.
I'm going to say yes.
They brought it out that night, for sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my last piece of information is from Lisa Ray and Anthony. She has yet to post anything about Anthony since the live feed the night their
Ooh.
episode aired. And I can't find Anthony anywhere on social media.
Are you surprised?
No,
Like,
no.
Of course he's not on social media.
Yeah, but she has posted a lot too, but no pictures of Anthony.
But do we think that's like a celebrity thing? Like, oh, like I'm in a relationship
Maybe
now.
he
we
doesn't
can't
want it.
post.
She posted a video of herself in the car with glasses on. If anyone wants to go see this video, I think it was like her third last post, the third one down. Anyway, she had a giant rock on her finger, not the ring that was on the episode.
Oh, so I'm sure he got her something better than a
Do
Neil
you
Lane
think that
diamond.
was from him, or do you think she replaced
Absolutely.
it herself?
Do you
Yeah.
think? I didn't know if the Neil Lane diamonds were big enough for her.
I don't think they
Because-
were. She has 1 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do we know how many carats those Neil Lane rings are?
I'm gonna say maybe 1.
I have to. Yeah, they have to be
You
limited.
think one? They look
One.
a little bigger.
They don't look that, but they have halos around.
Maybe.
Oh, so maybe it's the appearance that it's bigger, but it's
Tammy's
not
saying
I
that
think
she
it's
actually
about-
removed that. Tammy, you talking about the video?
She removed the video.
of her with the big
Maybe.
ring.
It was very recent.
Maybe people were questioning it.
Very interesting.
Lisa Ray, what is happening?
We want to know, girl.
Are you with Anthony, and where is Anthony?
Do we have a favorite of the couples? We're 6 in right now. Is there a favorite?
Yes. Crobocop and Monica.
Yes, they are going the strongest. They started off first.
Yes, I want to see a proposal special of their wedding.
That would be really cute.
Wouldn't it?
I would like
Is
that.
this the video that you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, there she is.
Okay,
At one
so
part.
So it's 2 days ago, for people who are wondering. It's her second to last post right now. And it looks
Okay.
like she is showing off some glasses that her friend got her.
At one part in the video, she flashes her
The
hand,
ring.
and there is a giant ring on her finger.
Oh,
There
wow.
it
Yeah,
is.
there's
Ooh,
no
it's
way.
huge.
That thing's massive.
Is it real or is it costume?
Oh no, that's
No,
real.
it looks like a real like wedding ring.
Get it, Anthony. You know he did that.
That
I
dude
have
laid-
so much faith in him.
I
I like it.
He's probably wearing his Crocs somewhere. Like, yeah, that's my
Can't
ring.
believe the Crocs.
Rebecca says that her ring is 1 carat, so those look like 2 to 3 carats.
Right?
Oh,
Mine's 1 carat
really?
too, girl. So yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute.
They
Those
look
a little
bigger than that?
Yeah.
All right, see, there's Lisa Ray. No Anthony to be found.
Well, she's doing the celeb thing.
She's
you know?
also, yeah.
She's doing the hashtag ad.
Yeah.
Hashtag sponsored.
Right.
You can do
I
that
don't
when you have
think her and
1.4.
Anthony are going to make it
Because of her or because of him?
because of her.
Because of what?
Yeah.
She said in that interview where she said they haven't said I love you to each other yet, they said, who do you think's going to say it first? And they both said Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay. What's wrong with that though?
Because she knows she's not going to say it.
It's hard, I think, with that when you're on a different level, and it's you can have that confidence. I feel like he doesn't have the confidence to be on that level.
I think he has the confidence in different ways. Listen.
That doesn't make sense.
No, this is what I think.
Where is this love for Anthony?
Listen, I think that Anthony is bringing something completely different to the table. He seemed very confident in his career and his success and what he's doing with his life. So why wouldn't he be confident in their relationship?
Cammie is saying that she had a video of the engagement party they threw, and it's gone now.
Oh.
Maybe they're just really good friends.
I'm stressed.
And we shall see. Well, the purpose of the show is obviously a big thing of love at first sight. And I know that's part of our special segment tonight. Talking about the
Yes.
importance of love at first sight. Break it down for us, Farah.
And whether or not it works. So, according to a study mentioned in The Boom, Click, The Magic of Instant Connections, of the book Click, The Magic of Instant Connections, a 2007 report examined the effects of quickly feeling deep intimacy on long-term relationships. The researchers talked to 1,000 randomly selected couples. The married people fell into 3 basic categories. The first was those who'd been long-term friends before they'd started dating and went from having a platonic relationship to a romantic one. The second, those who'd enjoyed a traditional courtship that involved going on numerous dates and gradually becoming more serious. And the third, those who clicked or fell head over heels quickly. The researchers hypothesized that those who'd taken the time to get to know each other before getting more serious would have stronger, healthier relationships versus those who had simply clicked. But what they found, however, was that after an average of 25 years of marriage, there was virtually no difference among the 3 different groups in terms of commitment to each other.
Interesting.
So that's really interesting to look at.
How important do you guys feel love at first sight or that immediate connection is with someone?
I think an immediate connection of some sort should probably happen fairly quickly.
A spark of some sort?
Yeah. Not like love at first sight, but something.
Sure.
Well, both the Laurens are in relationships. Did
Yeah.
you
Yes.
experience this with your significant others?
Yes.
Absolutely. I can still remember the first time I saw him.
Really?
Standing by a window, and he turned around, and I was like, hello, who are you?
But how long did you guys date before you got married?
How long did we date before we got married? That's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time.
So you guys dated for a while.
But I moved in like 2 weeks after we started dating.
Okay.
What?
So that's to say we've been together almost a decade and we're still going strong. So like I just think you commit to who you want to commit to. Whether you meet them and it's great or you're friends for 10 years and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what have we been doing our whole lives?"
But wouldn't you say that if you're friends first, you click with friends as well? That's why you become friends, because you have a connection.
What do you
Right?
mean? So like you're
Yeah,
gonna
but I
fall in
think
love
it's
with all
a
your
different
friends?
connection.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
It's
there is some
romantic.
sort of
Yeah, oh, yeah,
connection at first.
yeah.
It's romantic, but what the study reveals is that you don't necessarily need to have that long-term dating process.
Because we hear about that all the time. People are like, we've been best friends since we were 8 and now we're getting married. And it's like all this time has passed and then they finally realize. And maybe it's like a timing thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because the premises of this show is basically to meet and fall in love. And we're all, questioning whether or not these relationships are going to last. But, looking at the study here, it very well possibly can.
And it proves the study's point, the show. Like, I think it's great because it's forcing us to look at love differently. It doesn't have to be the same. People can meet and get married and last for 50 plus years. It just depends.
Oh,
The
yeah.
What do you
divorce rate in India is lower than the United States, and that's all arranged marriages. So
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
There you have it.
Laura, did you remember the first time that you saw your significant other?
Oh, yes, because we met on Memorial Day and we ended up hanging out. We met at a restaurant that could be also a bar. And then we
Buffalo
ended up
Wild
hanging
Wings?
out
Was it
all
Buffalo
day.
Wild Wings?
Yeah, yes. How'd you know?
Was it really?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but we definitely had a connection. We ended up hanging out all day and we kissed.
First day you kissed?
Yes,
Wow,
he
girl.
kissed me
Wow.
by my refrigerator, people.
At our house. Did you
let
catch
him
that?
upstairs.
Did
Yes.
it take you off guard?
No, I knew it was going to happen.
Ah.
We casually went to the refrigerator to get some more drinks for our people.
That's
that were
what
at the
kids are
house.
calling it these days.
Actually.
He
So
needed
people in the
help.
live chat, Rebecca says, I wouldn't call it, quote, love at first sight, but I knew I was deeply attracted to my husband from the moment I laid eyes on him. And Tammy says, my cousin and her husband started going with each other in 5th grade and have been married for 26 years. Oh, that's a sweet story.
That is cute.
I like how she said going with each other too.
Yeah.
It's
Do
adorable.
people still say that?
Love it.
Well, you say it in 5th grade,
Go instead.
and then you just keep going.
Just keep going.
Just fantastic. Well, as we wrap up, let's go with some predictions.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I think we already talked about this. So odds, odds percentage-wise, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 that this couple will stay together.
10% they will stay together.
10%?
Yes.
Wow.
She didn't even give you guys a chance. That's horrible.
So sad.
I give it a 65% chance.
All right.
I give it 75.
Ooh, I'm going to go with 17%. I just don't feel it.
17.
I don't.
round number.
Yes.
She just. Okay, I'll round up and then be given the benefit of the doubt at 20%.
That's generous.
That's generous. She didn't seem like all that interested. I did wonder when there was the proposals. I wondered if Garland was gonna back out. Did anybody else think
I
this?
thought that Garland's proposal was just on a whim, as if it just came up in his mind.
And then he was like, okay, you guys. And he steps away from her and you're like, oh my gosh, what's
Is he
about
gonna leave?
to happen? Is he gonna walk away? And then he gets on his knee. Like, it was such a
No,
performance.
he
sir.
does exactly what people do in Vegas when they're drunk and get married. It was just like,
Hey,
oh,
Ross
this
and
sounds like a good idea right now.
Ross and Rachel worked out and they got married in Vegas. Yes, it was a TV show, but who cares?
Touche.
Yeah, when you use the term "why not,"
Why not?
Yeah, it
In
was
your
just like, well, why
engagement?
not do this?
Well,
I'm gonna propose.
Why not?
why not?
No.
Why not patch things up with your baby mama? Well,
Right.
I mean, I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of questions you could ask there. And there's a lot of questions that we'll be having next week on The Proposal on AfterBuzz TV. But until then, where can they find you, ladies?
You can find me at Farah_Naz_B on Instagram.
You can find me on Instagram at Lauren Ashley Beck.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lauren T. Pacheco.
And you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at TheOnlyMC. Thank you guys for joining us. Shout out to people in the live chat. Rebecca, Tammy, Shanice was in there. So many other people. We are so thankful. They also said 25% and 13%. Ugh, they do not see this relationship working out. The good news is next week we'll have another couple to be able to break down. Several other suitors that we'll be talking about. And we hope that you will join us every single Monday at 8:15 Pacific time. That's 11:15 Eastern time right here on AfterBuzz TV. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts. Certainly be able to listen if you have a drive or if you're going somewhere. We love to hear from you guys in the comment no matter where you are watching this on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. We have so much free content. We just want to be able to give it all to you guys. Super easy. Until next week, we'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.